Let me talk about midterm first. Midterm, basically, time, I told you before, because a few students still ask me about that. So let me clarify it. And another important thing I also like to talk about, the arrangement of this midterm. Yeah. All right. Let me get my pen. Oh, still red. Yeah. Change the color to blue. All right. All right. Yep. So this file, I will use it as the hint file. Right? Yeah. And first, let me talk about the midterm. Yeah. We know the time next Wednesday, 1 week from this Wednesday. Okay, yeah. So first, let's make that clear. All right, so the November 9th, Wednesday. All right, yeah. In our current classroom, right here. All right. Our regular class time. Regular, so that is 6:55, 8:10 p.m. Okay, all right. Yeah. So for those students, if you like to take it at a different time, yeah, so you can choose your, make appointment with our test center, yeah, or go to the test center. Yeah, but you need to make appointment with them in one of these 3 days. Wednesday, the same day, next day, Thursday, and a Friday, in the same week, choose the best time for you, most convenient time for you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. But try your best to come to the classroom. Only when, you have some very important thing, some good reason, then you can choose that test center option. Okay. Yeah. And we know the rules I mentioned before: open book, open notes. You can bring your laptop to access our course materials. Okay, notes, homework assignments, quizzes, answers, all our study materials. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but in case, yeah, because probably you may not like to access the videos at a class time, right? Although for me, if you do not make noise, if you bring some earphone, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but usually, yeah. Because watch video, that takes a lot of time. So definitely you may not like to spend that much time. Yeah. Although you can do it, but you need to think about it. All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not at home. So at home, so you are free to do that. Okay. All right. Any question? Too small. Yeah. Yeah. I'm afraid it's too small. Yeah. It looks fine. All right. All right. So that's the first thing. Yeah. If you have any question, just let me know. So I will clarify here. All right. But another important thing, yeah, I'd like to give you. So our midterm, I will split it into two parts, part A and part B. Okay. Part A, part B. The reason is we need to cover some query questions. Yeah. But usually it may take a little longer to do query questions. Yeah. So I plan to give you 10 query questions. Yeah. So in this midterm, we will have 15 concept questions. And query questions. Okay, yeah, total 25. All right. Yeah. But think about if you need to do those 10 query questions in our class time, yeah, after you complete 15 concept questions, I'm afraid you may not have enough time to complete it. Yeah. So I like to, make it doable for you in our 75 minutes, our official 75 minutes. So I split, yeah, this part A, 15 concept question plus 5 relatively easier query questions. Still 5 query questions, but relatively easier. Okay, yeah. Query questions. All right, yeah. Okay. Then part B, only 5. That's the online. Part B is online. Okay. Part B, 5 relatively hard query questions. Yeah. But I give you 1 weekend to complete it. Okay. Part B, I give you 1 weekend. Okay. Yeah. Plus that Friday. Okay. Because that Wednesday, Thursday, after that, then I give you 3 days. All right, for part B. Yeah. In that way, you should have plenty of time to complete this midterm. Okay, so in class, 20 questions. Yeah. So that should not be too hard, right? The query basically straightforward. Yeah. Relatively simple. Yeah. Not too complex, doable. Okay. Yeah. The 5 relatively hard questions, yeah, you may need to do some more work. Okay, yeah. Not that easy. Yeah. So you need to spend more time. Yeah. All right. So that is the midterm arrangement plan. Okay. Yeah. All right. So then today, let me explain some of the relatively hard homework assignment number 2 questions. Okay. Yeah. All right. For the easy questions, yeah, I do not need to explain. Okay, yeah. So you can answer easily. Yeah. I just pick some selected questions. The first one I want to explain, this question number 7. Okay, yeah. Since a select statement may return a table with duplicate rows, yeah. By default, we allow duplicate rows. The only way to remove the duplicate rows is using distinct keyword. So we know we can use this distinct keyword. We can remove the duplicate rows. But this question, think about, other than that distinct way, do we have a different way to do it? Think about that. In our notes, another question about because one student asked me the coverage of this midterm. Yeah, I remember I talked about that before. Yeah, here, let me repeat again. The coverage module 1 through module 4, 4 modules. You do not need to look at module 5. That's for final. Module 5, module 6, that's for the final exam. And our homework number 2, assignment number 2, I give you the material from module 4. Okay, yeah. No module 5 questions. Yeah. All right, mainly module 4 questions. Yeah. All right. So here, there is a special here. I like to point the direction. So when you work on this question, study the concept. Union of table, union concept, union operation. And we have another similar operation, union or operation. Union or, these two operations you need to study. Yeah. Because union or, that's the multi-set version. Yeah. Multi-set version. Union operation, it is the set version. And you know, the difference between set and multi-set, that's the duplicate rows. For set, we do not allow duplicate rows. But for multi-set, we allow duplicate rows. And in this question here, we like to remove duplicate rows. Think about, can you connect it to that union operation, right? Union operation, your query result should be a set. What is a set? No duplicate rows. That's the set. So think about that. From that point of view, think about that question. Okay, union or. All right, but that's just direction. So you need to try to connect these pieces, these knowledge pieces. And if you need to do experiments, yeah, so you can use our company database, PHP MyAdmin, so play around, look at, or if you like, you can create your own simple database. You do not have to use the original company database because sometimes you like to create your own data, right? It is allowed when you do experiments, you have the freedom to use your own data. Okay? Yeah. All right. Yeah, so then hopefully you can find the answer of this question. Because you need to do some work, so not quite straightforward. So I like to give you some hint here. Okay. All right, so that's this question. Yeah. Because later we have another union or question. Yeah, you will see, yeah, our union or question. Yeah. All right. Number 9, you compare two tuples, but the special thing in these two tuples, there is the null value. And we know the null value is treated in a different way in SQL. So you need to know the rule about it. Yeah. So we spend a lot of time study the null value properties, the properties for the null value. Quite different. Yeah. So here you may need to use some of the properties. Okay. All right. Yeah. And number 10, to do this calculation, you need to be, study the concept, Cartesian product concept or cross product. Cartesian AN. All right. Product. Okay. A cross B, that property. Okay. Yeah, because when we join 3 tables, we work on the Cartesian product of 3 tables, A cross B cross C. Then how to calculate the number of total rows. Yeah. That's pretty easy. Yeah. All right. Then number 12, here, union or property. All right. Union compatible concept. Yeah. We do union or operation of 2 tables. Yeah. And these 2 tables, we allow duplicate rows. Okay, yeah. But when you do the union or operation, the question, what is the total number of rows after your union or operation? So you need to be familiar with how do we treat duplicate tuples when we work on union or operation. How do we treat those duplicate tuples? Pretty straightforward here. Yeah. And there is another related question. Yeah, as I remember, in one of the previous questions, yeah, let me see. I like to talk about a little bit. All right, yeah, this is number 14. All right. When we join 2 tables, we require that these 2 tables must be union compatible. So here, yeah. Union compatible concept and also table join concept. Yeah. Try to compare, all right, because union compatible concept, we use this concept for the union operation. When we do union operation, we define this concept. But here, there is another table join operation. Yeah. Look at that condition. What is the condition for table join? All right. So compare these two concepts. Okay, yeah. So that is this question. All right. And question number 13 about the binary search. Yeah. The binary search, actually, you can argue, we talk about binary search in module 5, right? Yeah. So I try not to give you module 5 questions, but here the binary search, we can also say it's a, basic knowledge. That's from our algorithm, right? Yeah, that's the prerequisite part. Okay, prerequisite for this class. Yeah. So you know the binary search. You have the basic knowledge of it, the binary search. Here, I only check your basic knowledge. I do not ask you using binary search in indexing technology. That's the module 5. Now, if I give you any question related to indexing, then that's not right. Okay, yeah. So I should delay it to our final exam. Yeah, but here, nothing about indexing. All right. Here, the basic knowledge. Suppose that a table is sorted based on a particular key. It is known that when you search a record in the table using a binary search on the key, you need at the most 15 comparisons. You know that binary tree, right? Search, okay? Yeah. So actually, you start from the middle element, then two possibilities, left branch, right branch of the binary tree. Okay, so when you do the search, basically you need to do traversal of the corresponding binary tree, right? So there is a binary tree corresponds to your table records. Okay, yeah, all right. So here, the given information, we know 15 total number of comparisons. Now I ask you the maximum number of rows in this table. Because you cannot have too many rows in this table. If you have too many rows, you need more than 15 comparisons. So here, that condition, 15 comparison, put an upper bound for your total number of records. So you need to calculate that upper bound. Yeah. Here, to give you a simple example, here I give you the number of key n equals 7. Look at this complete binary tree. It's a complete binary tree. The tree is full. All the levels are full, complete binary tree. Look at how many comparisons we need, from top to bottom. Okay, we start from the root. That's our first comparison. 1. Then moving down through a path to a leaf. Yeah. Just one path. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, for example, this path. Yeah. Your destination is at a leaf. Okay. Yeah. So comparison number 2, comparison number 3. All right. So that means you need at the most 3 comparisons. In this simple example, at the most 3 comparisons. All right, yeah. If I use the wording in this question, that is, if we know our table records, we need at the most 3 comparisons to find a record in it. Then the maximum number of the maximum number of rows in this table is 7. Okay? If I change, yeah, so look at this relationship. All right. All right. If I change that 15 comparison to 3 comparisons, number of comparisons. Okay, yeah. Then number of records, maximum, okay? Records. You know, that's the max. That number will be 7, all right? Yeah, in this example. Then, similarly, this 3 becomes 15. Okay, 15, all right? The question, this side, what is that max number? Okay, yeah, that relationship. Okay, yeah. How do you get 7 from 3? Think about that. How do you get 7 from 3? Then, the same way, you get that max number from 15. Think about that relationship. That relationship. All right, yeah. Yeah. Pretty easy. Yeah. All right. Okay, yeah, that's this question. All right. The last concept question, number 15. Yeah. Yeah, let me explain this a little more. Yeah, because based on my experience, this question usually causes most confusion. Yeah, so I try to explain to let you understand its meaning. Yeah. Right. Suppose a table has 9 columns, 9 fields, okay, attributes also. It is known that we only need to provide values for 4 columns explicitly to insert a new row successfully. Yeah. Yeah. So in other words, the minimum number of values you need to provide for a new row insertion is 4. If less than 4, then you cannot insert a new row successfully. Let's say 3. If you only provide 3 values, then you cannot insert a new row successfully. It will fail. All right. Yeah. So that is the line. Okay. Minimum 4 rows. Yeah. But you have total 9 columns, but you only need to provide 4 of the 9 values, because the remaining 5 values can be provided in different ways. Here, I like to explain the different ways, so you will have the idea. All right, okay, yeah. Assume that there are n columns with default values. You can provide default values, right? When you define the table, there are n columns, you define default values. Okay, yeah. So n columns, you provide default values. That means with default values, you do not have to provide explicit values for the insertion, right? Because the default values can be used. Yeah. So that will be one possibility. All right. And another possibility, there are m columns with null values. All right. Yeah. And columns then with null values allowed. I like to say this way, allowed. Because look at that, we have that not null constraint, right? Yeah. Look at that not null constraint. Not when we declare that not null constraint, then that column is not allowed to accept null value, right? Yeah. But here, there are m columns accept null values. Okay? Yeah, that's the meaning. Accept. Yeah. With null values allowed. Yeah, this possible confusion. I should add allowed. Okay. Yeah. That means we cannot apply not null constraint on those m values. Right. Yeah. But so there is a possibility. So these two groups, n columns group and m columns group, they may have overlap, right? Think about overlap. Overlap also allowed. Okay? Yeah. Because even if you provide default values, those columns can still take null value, right? Yeah. So these two groups could have overlap. You need to consider. All right. Yeah. These two groups you allowed to have overlap. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's the meaning. All right. A little more complicated. So that's why I explain here. Otherwise, you will have a lot of confusion here. All right. All right. So then the question, what is the minimum value for n plus n? Minimum value for n plus n. Okay? Because you allow overlap, that means these n plus n can change in some range, right? Yeah. Bigger, smaller, right? Because overlap is allowed, right? Yeah. Now we want to have that minimum n plus n value. You cannot have smaller than that. If you have smaller value than that, you will have a contradiction. You will have some contradiction. Okay? Yeah. So without contradiction, what is the smallest n plus n value? That's the meaning here. Yeah. Yeah. A little confusing. Yeah. The reason I designed this question, I want to check your understanding of several properties, several concepts and properties. That's why, so I try very hard to design this question. So here it's my responsibility to explain the meaning clearly to you before you can answer this question correctly. All right. Yeah, but there is last thing. Other than those factors I lay out here, there is another one. You need to consider it. Yeah, because it will impact the final answer also. Yeah. In the last sentence in the parenthesis, you can consider auto increment case for the primary key. Another factor you need to consider, auto increment case. What's that? All right. We know auto increment, primary key, right? Yeah. So here, let me mention this auto increment, primary key. Okay? Yeah. So usually we use that 1, 2, 3, yeah, as the auto increment primary key. That you can consider this kind of primary key could be one of the 9 columns. We're given 9 columns, right? Yeah. In the 9 columns, you can assume one of the columns is this auto increment primary key. That case could happen, so you can consider that case. All right. Yeah. Why? Because when you look at the minimum value of n plus n, if there is one column is this auto increment primary key, then you can make this n plus n smaller, all right? You can make n plus n a little more smaller. Okay, so that's the reason. Yeah. Try to understand. All right. Today is Monday. Yeah. So try to think about, based on my explanation today, you try to digest mainly this question. Other questions easy to understand, but this question probably the hardest to understand. Try to digest. All right. Then, because you have Wednesday to ask me. Wednesday, because the due date is Monday, right? November 7th, Monday. Yeah. The due date of this assignment. Yeah, let me go back to, not 7th. Oh, yeah, 6th. Not sorry. Sunday, due. All right. Yeah, regarding the due date, let me say a few more words about the, due date. Oh, let me erase it. Why I cannot erase it? Oh, yeah, too slow. All right. So here, the due date. Yeah. November the 6th, Sunday. All right. Remember our grace period, right? Yeah. As I told you before, usually I give 1 day grace period of grace. All right, let me put here. Grace period, 1 day. But this assignment is a little special, right? Yeah. So this assignment, I need to explain this one before the test. So that Monday, so here, the grace period I want to set before Monday class at 7 p.m. So this one, I modify our usual grace period from 1 day to part of the Monday before 7 o'clock, our class time. Because in the class, I will explain the answers. So I don't want some students just after I explain the answers, then you still work on it, right? So that's not fair. So that's why I set the grace period for those students. You have to submit it by our class time, Monday class time. Then I will accept it. Okay? After 7 o'clock, Monday class time, I won't accept it. All right? Yeah, so let me make it clear. Yeah. So you have although give you a little more room, I expect most students submit on Sunday. Okay? I expect most students submit Sunday. Yeah. You try to submit on Sunday, because if you can complete it by Sunday, I encourage you to submit on Sunday because I can give you extra credit. All right? If you submit it on Sunday, I can give you extra credit. Okay? Only for small number of students who really need extra time on Monday to come, then I give you a little more time without extra credit, without penalty, without extra credit. All right? Yeah. So that is our policy. Because after you submit on Sunday, I can start grading. Before my class time, I can grade, 7 to 10 students. I just estimate. Then in the class, I can talk about based on my grading experience. I can explain some errors. So that will be better. Because I don't like to see all of you submit right before 7 p.m. Then I cannot do grading, right? In that way. So then it will impact our original plan a lot. Okay, yeah. Here I explain, why I make an arrangement in that way. All right, so that's the homework assignment submission time update. All right, and then back to this question number 15. You digest using after this class before our Wednesday's class. Try to figure out if you really understand the meaning. If not, on our Wednesday's class, you can still ask me. Ask me questions. I will explain what is my meaning, my intention, I like you to do in this question. All right. But I hope after my explanation today, most of you can understand the meaning, what I need to do. The reason it is a little hard because you need to put several pieces together. Okay, default value, not null constraint, right? The null value thing, and auto increment primary key, those things together. Then you need to connect the dots and make the story, the whole story sounds right? Whole story, makes sense. Then you can answer the question. Otherwise, you cannot answer the question. It does not make sense. How can you answer the question, right? Okay, that's the first 15 questions. Next, I like to explain 10 query questions. These 10 query questions, for some of them, I like to give you hints. Help you a little bit. But one thing to let you know, usually for one query question, there are many different solutions. Okay? So keep in your mind, the solution usually is not unique. So let me put the statement here. So let you, be aware of it. So usually, a query statement is not unique. Okay, so that is, there are more than one solutions. The reason this fact is important is if you do differently from others, do not feel that your solution is wrong, okay? It could be both correct. Because usually people with different thinking, different logic, different experience, they would provide different answers. That's normal. That's quite normal. But there is another thing I like to point out. Some of the solutions could be better than others. Some of the solutions could be faster than other solutions. There is that kind of difference. Performance-wise, there is some difference. Okay? All right. So here, when I give you hints for these questions, that I just give you one possibility. You can work, okay? Yeah. If you have no idea, so you can take this as some reference, okay? Think about this possibility. But I do not mean you have to use my way to answer the question, right? If you have different ways, that's good, okay? That's good, okay? Feel free to use your own solutions, okay? Yeah. Only you need help, then you use my hints, okay? Yeah. Only if I try very hard, but I couldn't get it. Then here I have a possible way for you, so you can try, all right? That kind of mentality, all right? Yep. Mine was just a suggestion, all right? When I do grading, if your solution is different from mine, usually first I look at the logic, if the logic is correct, okay? If the logic is correct, I may also do experiments. So I produce your statement, query statement, then I put in the SQL command window, I run it, see what happens, all right? So that means if I point out some error, so I will base on my execution results, okay? Yeah, because I got some error, all right? Then I try to figure out why I got this error. Then I can explain to you. Yeah. So usually when I grade your query question, it takes a lot of time because I need to figure out why it is wrong, okay? When I see something wrong, I need to figure out why it is wrong. Otherwise, if I do not explain why it is wrong, then you're not convinced. So you're not convinced, all right? Yeah, so this kind of grading takes a lot of time, usually, yeah, especially for harder questions, yeah. All right, let me use the remaining, we just have less than 20 minutes. Let me just try to complete my hints, just half of, I do not need to talk about all 10 questions, probably half of them. Yeah. The first question I like to skip, because so easy, so straightforward. I do not need to explain anything. You can do it easily, all right, the first question. Second one, then I need to explain a little bit, because here the condition, list the first name and last name of those employees whose first name have no more, the condition part, no more than 5 characters. That's the main part you need to work. The remaining trivial, only this condition part, relatively hard. Here, I may give you 2 ways to work on this question. The first way, relatively simple way. Remember in the class, I give you a special function called a length function. Find the length of a string. Look at that function. Here, it's a right place to call the length. Let me just erase. So length function, parenthesis, right? Yeah, because you put that field. The field is the first name, right? Yeah, the field name in the parenthesis. Length function. We know length function is only available in MySQL. Yeah, only for other DBMs it may not be available. But here we can assume we are using MySQL, because for this class, the underlying DBMS, MySQL, so no problem. So you can use that. Yeah, length of first name, no more than 5 characters. How about that? Okay, that will be easy, straightforward. Yeah. The second way, regular expression, are relatively hard. All right. Yeah. Second, you can try regular expression. Regular expression way. It is much harder than the first way, but the good thing is it can be applied to other DBMS, Oracle, right? Other, because length, if you go to Oracle, you cannot use length function. Okay, it is not supported. So the second way, the good thing is when you move to different DBMS, then you may need to take the second way. So still valuable. All right. Yeah. But for the regular expression, how do you represent a pattern no more than 5 characters? That is a little challenging. Okay? Yeah. So here, what do you need? Yeah. You may need to represent, okay, beginning of the character. How about that? Beginning of the string. Beginning of the string. That had simple, right? Yeah. End of the string. Okay. End of the string. Okay. Dollar sign, right? Okay. Yeah. That in the part in the middle represent the part in the middle. Okay. Yeah. In the middle, you need to represent, okay, some pattern repeated certain number of times. How about that? Certain number of times. How about that? Okay. You need to address these 3 pieces. Beginning, end, yeah. So that's special symbols. In the middle, some appropriate pattern repeated certain number of times in order to represent that no more than 5 characters. How about that? Okay. Could be 1 character, right? Yeah. We can assume the shortest, the first name, 1 character. Okay. Yeah. Although it's rare, yeah, but logically possible. Logically possible. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These cases. How do you cover all those cases? All right. So for regular expression, you need to do a little more work, but it's a good practice. All right. Good practice. Yeah. Yeah. But that, length function that way, yeah, pretty easy. Yeah. All right. So that's this question, number 17. Yeah. All right. Then number 18. Number 18 not hard, but you just need to join 3 tables. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Employee table, works on table, and a project table. Yeah. 3 tables. So you need to, really be patient. Try to connect these 3 tables in the right way. Yeah. So get things right. Then just do the normal work. Yeah. Get there. Yeah. Some noise. Yeah. Look at your microphone. Yeah. Some student. Yeah. Check your microphone. There is some noise. Next one. Yeah. No digit other than string. Yeah. This one, you need to represent. Yeah. Still address. No digit other than the string number. This time you have to use regular expression. You cannot avoid that. Okay? The previous question, number 17, you can avoid it. But here, you have to apply regular expressions. Okay? Yeah. But regular expression, the street number, you use the digit. But after the street number, no digit can be used. How do you represent that part? All right, yeah. So here, basically, you have the street number part first. Street number part. Yeah. Only digit, right? Yeah. Because street number, certain number of digits. Here it means certain number of digits. Okay? Yeah. But you do not specify how many. Okay? Just, more than one. We have that more than one representation. More than one. Okay? Yeah. So that's the street part. Yeah. Then remaining part. Remaining part, when you represent, we use a space to separate, right? Use a space character. Space. All right. Character to separate. Okay. Separate those two parts. Okay. All right. Then the remaining part, no digit. Do you still remember we use that inside the bracket, that still that hat symbol, that's for the negate operator. Negation, negate the meaning. That's not, right? That's not. The meaning, not. Think about that. Okay? Then you can represent. No digit is allowed after the string number. Look at that logic. Okay? All right. Yeah. Next, a few questions. Number 20, here the condition. Also regular expression, but this condition, look at this, contain $1 and 1 dot. Two special symbols. $1. Yeah. So this address must contain $1. It also 1 dot character. How to represent that? First, we know the $, you need to use $, not single slash. Okay, yeah. So here, $1, you need to use $. All right, that pattern for $1. Yeah, not single slash. All right, 1 dot. You use $. Okay, yeah. But how do you combine these two conditions? Okay, how do you combine these two conditions? Okay, here, because combine two regular expressions. Okay, Yeah. The first regular expression, only you only represent the first symbol, right? Yeah. Look at that. Reg exp operator. Okay. The first pattern 1, and you write them separated. Second, the regular expression, reg exp, the second pattern, pad 2, and use and to join them. Yeah. Because you want both correct, right? Both true. So you use the logic and operator, yeah, definitely. So address here. Yeah. You put address here, address also here, and to connect these two regular expressions. Okay, all right. So that's the question number 20. Yeah. Number 21, exactly one dot whose addresses contain exactly. How to represent exactly one dot? Okay, yeah. So here, first, represent that. Yeah. Yeah. It contains one dot. That's easy, right? Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that's part of the previous question. It contains one dot, but it's not enough because you haven't expressed exactly one dot. So you need to do the second part. Exclude the case that it contains two dots. You exclude it. The case, it contains two dots. Okay. How to exclude? Yeah. You using this operator. Using this operator. Okay. Not reg exp. Okay. Not reg exp. Yeah. Not matching the pattern. Okay. Negate. Regular expression, that operator can be negated. Reg exp negated using not. Okay. Not. Yeah. So you represent two dots regular expressions, but after that, not that. Apply not in front of it. So then join these two parts. Okay. Then join two parts. Using the AND operator, right? Yeah, because both must be true. Part 1 must be true. Part 2 also must be true. So you use AND to join those two Boolean expressions. Okay, all right. Let me look at, yeah, I only have 2 minutes. And let me see if I need further explanation. All right, I need one more explanation. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because yeah, let me just do one more expression. If you need more, yeah, we do next time. Yeah, Wednesday, we have a little more time. Older than 50 years old. Let me give you this expression, older than 50 years old. Because you need to know the current date. How do you calculate 50 years old? With respect to today, current time, right? So you need a function, SQL function, telling you the current date. Yeah, so that is this function. CUR date function. That return the current date. All right. So then how do you wind back 50 years ago? From current day, you minus 50 years before it. All right. So minus operator. All right. Then interval. You define interval. What is the interval you want to wind back 50 years? All right. Interval 50 years, that's the keyword, number of years. Year or years? Yeah. I'm not sure. Let me double check. Yeah, because we know year, that's the keyword, right? So if you plus S, probably you change the keyword. So here we need to put a question mark. All right. Yeah, if there is S or not. Yeah, because we need, it's not a language issue, right? Yeah, in English we put years, but in SQL, yeah, we talk about keywords. All right, keyword. So if we use the keyword in the right way, we need to think about that. All right. Yeah. Let me just double check my answer. Yeah. If I need to do a little more explanation, let me do it next time. Yeah. I pretty much, complete the explanation. Yeah. All right. So let me just stop here. Yeah.